Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. It is me, the Ludi Llama, and today I'm going to review the brand new chapter introduced into Dead by Daylight. Now this is future Llama, so editor Llama. I didn't like my original intro, but nonetheless, continue. In this video I explain all of his add-ons, the Lich's add-ons. I go through all the perks, the power, the backstories behind all of them, and I just talk a little bit about that. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy. This is video 1 of a 4-video scheduled release series that I filmed today, because I'm going to be out of town for a month. So each one of these will release on that Sunday. So this one's going to release today on Monday, but all the others are going to release on Sunday. So when I get back, which I believe will be either the day of the release of this video or the day after the release of this video, we're going to I'm going to stream. So yeah, that's why I'm doing all of this, because I'm going to have a content drought, but I don't want it to be that big of one. So anyways, I'm going to stop blathering on, and yeah, you guys want to hear some add-ons? Come into the Blood Web, I'll review them. So he's got Crystal Ball. When a survivor is revealed by dispelling Sphere, the killer instinct effect lasts an additional 3 seconds. Raven's Feather increases duration of the fly spell by half a second. Ring of Spell Storing decreases the cooldown of all spells by 4 seconds, so it goes from 38 to 34. Tattered Headband increases the distance of flight of the damned spectral entities by 4 meters. This is going to be one of my favorites. Potion of Speed decreases the duration where you cannot attack after casting Fly. So, I like that. Lantern of Revealing reveals the aura of survivors narrowly missed by the flight of the damned for 3 seconds. Then there's the Trickster's Glove, increases the time Mage Hand holds a pallet by 0.5 seconds. Pearl of Power reduces the remaining cooldown of your spells by 5 seconds each time you land a basic attack. Glass Eye increases the size of Dispelling Sphere by 2 meters and its movement speed by 10%. Boots of Speed, casting Mage Hand grants you 5% haste for 2 seconds. Staff of Withering, Dispelling Sphere causes the exhausted status effect for 20 seconds to survivors who enter its radius. Cloak of Elvenkind, I don't know, reduces terror radius while the fly spell is active by 8 meters. Ring of Telekinesis decreases the time it takes Mage Hand to lift a pallet by 35%. Ornate Horn increases the number of entities created by Flight of the Damned by 1. Reveals the auras of survivors within 6 meters of a treasure chest for 3 seconds each time you cast a spell. Vorpal Sword. Any survivor that enters a Dispelling Sphere screams and gains Broken for 30 seconds. Increases the Mage Hand spell on a down. Using the Mage Hand spell on a down pallet breaks that pallet in 3 seconds. Next, we've got Cloak of Invisibility. Gain undetectable for 10 seconds each time all of your spells are on cooldown at the same time. Dragontooth Dagger applies Hemorrhage and Mangled status effect to survivors hit with a basic attack while holding a magic item for 45 seconds. We've got the Iridescent Book of Vial. Using the Fly spell to pass through any vault location blocks that location for survivors for 45 seconds. Lowers the number of spectral entities created by Flight of the Damned by 3 and makes them fly lower to the ground. Bag of Holding. 2 treasure chests are guaranteed to roll 1 on the dice roll, meaning 2 of the treasure chests will become a mimic, instead of just the 1 that's normal. Opening treasure chest grants the Oblivious status effect to survivors for 15 seconds. Alrighty, now that was all of his add-ons. Next, let's do all of his perks. We've got Dark Arrogance, Languid Touch, and Weave of Attunement. Now, starting off, I think Languid Touch is going to be a fantastic perk in the long run, and I think that it has a lot of ability to become a pretty decent perk among comp lobbies. But I'll share why when I get there. Gosh dang it, man. You have to bear with me. Wow. Okay. Dark Arrogance. When everything is going right, you are an inescapable inevitability. Increases the duration you are blinded by any means, and the duration of pallet stunts by 25%. Increases regular vault speed by 25%. So this perk just increases your base kit. Vault speed, it's not good enough, I think, to merit this. Bamboozle does more than this, and it grants 15%. I just don't think it's worth it to use ever. Languid touch. I'd like to let go of my mouse, please. Okay. When a survivor within 36 meters of you scares a crow, they gain exhausted status effect for 10 seconds. This perk has a 20-second cooldown. Why is this good? Background player got a nerf, but it is not that big of a nerf. I'll be honest, they just switched it to sprint burst speed. The 200% was way too much. Sprint burst speed is also a lot. So, I don't necessarily know why people think that sprint burst is just going to go away. This is a great perk for that. So, anyways, then there's his last perk, Weave Attunement. When an item becomes depleted for the first time, it is dropped. You see the auras of dropped items. Survivors within 12 meters of dropped items have their auras revealed to you. When survivors pick up a survivor item, they suffer the Oblivious status effect for 30 seconds. So not like the Lament configuration or a T-virus syringe, but like a flashlight or a toolbox. So this is great with Franklin's Demise. Don't use it, please. It's so annoying to play against a survivor, but I'm going to do a video on it, so, you know. Anyways. Alright, let's get into his power. His power is so big. I can't read the power name. I don't know what the power name is. So, enter power name here. To select a spell, hold button 1 to open spell selection. The Lich has 4 different spells. Mage Hand creates a magical pallet that lifts down pallets or blocks upright pallets for 4 seconds. Flight of the Damned conjures 5 flying entities that pass through obstacles and injure survivors. Dispelling Sphere casts a moving invisible sphere that reveals survivors and temporarily disables magic items, meaning they can't use the Eye or Hand of Vecna while they're in the magic sphere. Then there's Fly. Briefly move faster, ignoring vaults and pallets. But if you go over a pallet or a vault, Fly stops. Special Item. Magic items. Treasure chests found around the map can contain magic items for survivors to equip. These include boots/gauntlets of the Interloper. When Mage Hand is used, reveals the aura of affected pallets and applies haste for 3 seconds. The Night Watch reveals auras of Flight of the Damned. The Archivist makes Dispelling Sphere visible. The Skyguard reveals the Lich's aura during Fly and for a few seconds after. Special items. Hand and Eye of Vecna. Rarely, treasure chests contain the Hand or Eye of Vecna. When picked up and used by a survivor at full health, they cost them a health state, reveal their location for the killer for 3 seconds, and grant them a special ability. In my opinion, Hand of Vecna is the best, but both are pretty good. Hand of Vecna. A fast locker entry teleports the survivor to a further locker. But that means like you can't go from one locker to the one right next to it. It's got like a set distance. Traditionally, it's more across the map, but you can come out however. Eye of Vecna. A fast locker exit hides the survivor's aura and grants haste for 12 seconds. So, it's kind of good. Alright, now let's look at his backstory. Do I have to go to the store for that? I think I do. You guys are on this journey with me. Oh, yeah, bio. The Whispered One, Lord of the Rotted Tower, the Master of Secrets. Few dare speak his true name for fear he may hear, or worse. Even as a young wizard, Vecna's command of magic was matched by none. While others spent decades committing to and perfecting one school of magic, he effortlessly mastered each one of them. After his mother's execution for witchcraft, his focus became obsession as he poured the most of his study into the darkest school of magic, necromancy, the magic of life and death. As his power grew, so did his ambition. Over the centuries, he shed his mortal shell and ascended to lichdom. His power gave rise to a great empire, ruled over from his rotted tower. His thirst for dark knowledge to fill his book of vile darkness led him to many realms and planes. But it was his own realm. One of his servants found something. It was in his own realm one of his servants found something. A spell, perhaps. Torn from an ancient tome, written in a language he had never seen. From it he could sense an incredible dark energy. With any document of the language, he had to spend months painstakingly analyzing its syntax, phonetics, its form. He documented every stroke of every letter, scrutinizing and theorizing on their meanings in a massive book hidden in his chambers. When his lieutenants came to him with problems in their domain, Vecna told them to deal with it themselves. He had important things to attend to. Countless nights were spent memorizing the strange script, attempting to make it make sense. Only occasionally would he leave his keep to investigate rumors of people who had disappeared without a trace in the night. At these scenes he could sense the same foreign magic that emanated from the torn page. He was convinced that whatever was killing these people had also written this strange script. He was confounded, which made him furious. The scenes, few and far between, had no pattern, no common motive, no sign of struggle, no body, and only a lingering hum of dark energy. To what end did they need these bodies? One dark night he had a breakthrough. A word he had been interpreting as dying made more sense as disappearing. Perhaps these people were not being killed at all. Perhaps they were being taken alive. He applied this substitution through his notes, and everything seemed to fall into place. He copied what he learned to a fresh piece of parchment, written phonetically. He began to speak the words aloud, and the room darkened. It filled with a creeping black fog. He felt himself displacing, going somewhere else. Vecna resisted incanting, memorized spells, holding the fog at bay, but as he gazed into the darkness, he felt that alluring energy from it, a despair and evil he could scarcely imagine, a sick curiosity overcoming him. He dropped his concentration and let the fog take him. Wherever it was, he understood that the only way to harness it was to submit to it. He knew, in his cold, unbeating heart, that its dark secrets would one day be his. So that's pretty cool. Alright, now for the Survivor. Okay, here we go. I believe. Alright. Astri and Bermar. Astriazar and Bermar Uraz. I have to go to the store again. I'll do the perks first. I'm doing perks first. Astri. What if I search up Bermar? It works for both. It's actually kind of cool. Bardic Inspiration. Press the ability 1 while standing and motionless to enter the performance interaction that lasts up to 15 seconds and empowers survivors within 16 meters. Roll a d20. This effect lasts for 90 seconds if the performance is completed. 1. You scream but nothing happens. 2 to 10. Skill checks give plus 1% bonus. 11 to 19, 2%, and 20 is 3%. When the ability is cancelled or the performance completes, it goes on cooldown for 90 seconds. Then we've got Mirrored Illusion. This is another trap perk to finish your trap build, because I know there weren't enough perks for it. This perk activates after completing a total of 50% worth of repairs on generators. Press the ability button 2 when next to a generator, totem, chest, or execute to spawn a static illusion that lasts for 120 seconds. Then the perk deactivates. Then finishing it off with Still Sight. After not moving for 4 seconds, this perk activates. Until you start moving, you see the aura of the killer as well as all generators and chests within 24 meters. So it can be kind of good, but it's not the best. These two are probably going to be the best perks, especially this one. With that skill check bonus. 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 Skill check bon Alrighty, and let's go to their store page for their backstory. Aestri Yazar. Aestri and Bearmar first arrived in the free city of Greyhawk to trade songs and stories with the locals, but what the bards learned during their visit would set them on their final adventure. According to locals and travelers alike, a new magic unlike any other was spreading across the land. The forces of evil were disappearing from every corner of the land, leaving no trace of their malevolence. There was much rejoicing throughout Greyhawk, but Aestri and Bearmar felt differently. A bard's purpose in life was to celebrate triumph over adversity. A world without evil would be a world with no new songs to sing. Aestri knew what she had to do. She scooped out the taverns and back alleys of the city, looking for adventurers willing to help her and Bearmar find the source of the strange new magic. Many turned her down. Why would she want evil to return to the land? But using her wit and charisma, Aestri was able to inspire enough townsfolk to join her in restoring the balance between good and evil. Together, the ragtag troupe of adventurers traveled through swamplands and under mountains. They were driven out of towns by those who believed the troupe was secretly in league with the evil that had been eradicated, and every so often, folks would be kind enough to provide food, shelter, and most importantly, information. Bearmar would eagerly write down every clue and rumor they had heard, and concluded that the source of this strange magic must lie near the kingdom of Kaoland, where people spoke of an ancient tower emerging from its ruins, being instantly rebuilt bigger and stronger than it was before. Their suspicions were confirmed as the troop made their way south. Villagers spoke of the tower and its lord in hushed tones, but Aestri knew the place by its reputation. They were traveling to the rotted tower, stronghold of the Archlich Vecna. As they drew closer and closer to the rotted tower, the troop could feel evil magic in the air. They steeled themselves for a fight with Vecna, but were shocked to find the rotted tower was completely empty. They made their way up the spiral staircase, passing window after window of shattered stained glass until they reached the top of the tower. Amidst the debris, Aestri found a hastily written scroll. Bearmar was eager to show off his proficiency in arcana. He studied the scroll and realized the words were an incantation written phonetically. As he sang the words aloud, the tower began to rumble. Black fog crept in through the stone floor. Aestri stopped Bearmar from his recitation, but it was too late. The fog took hold of the adventurers, and within moments, they were gone. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.